Hey guys, it's Elisa, not Alyssa, and today I'm going to be talking about words in Italian that we need in English. I don't know how long it's been since I've started speaking in Italian, but it's been at least 5 years, and there are some words that I just love, that have a special place in my heart, that are so useful and so specific sometimes that I wish I could use them in English. So some of these words are words where when I am speaking in English, I will stop and be like, "Ugh, how do you say that in English?" Or how do I explain it? Or I wish I could say this in Italian because it kind of gets the point across more. So these are the kind of words we're talking about. I'm going to go through my list of words, and then at the end, I'm going to go through the words that you guys sent to me. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I posted a story asking you to tell me what your favorite Italian words were that you wish we had in English. And it's kind of my way of including you guys more in the video. And I find it fun when we kind of get to do things together. So we're going to do that at the end. There are tons of Italian words that are amazing, and I'm sure I will think of many more after I end this video. For now, this is the list of words that I've come up with at the moment. So the first word is bo. B-O-H, bo. So bo means I don't know, but there's something cool about bo. It's kind of like, I don't know, because you can't say I don't know in Italian. It's non so or non lo so. But bo is just magical because it's almost like you're so lazy you can't even get non lo so out. Like you don't even feel like saying I don't know. It's kind of the English equivalent of like you don't want to say I don't know. You're too lazy to say I don't know, so you're like I don't know. It has a very like derpy sound. Okay, so it kind of sounds like I am so totally clueless about this thing that I won't even say I don't know. It's like you have no idea. And it's just cool. And of course, these things are hard to explain. If you have never seen me before, this is the first time you're seeing one of my videos, and you don't speak Italian, then obviously it's going to be harder for you to understand the kind of colors behind the word. But bo is amazing. And actually, you guys, I think it was like 10 different people who sent in bo as their favorite word in Italian. So bo is pretty cool, and I say it a lot. I don't know, there's something fun about it. Okay, the next word I really like is imprevisto. Imprevisto. So this word, if you want to translate it directly, I guess it translates directly to unforeseen, but it's kind of like unforeseen circumstance. So let's say, for example, that you have a meeting and you're going to be late because something came up. So you could say something came up, but something came up sounds really casual. Here's the thing. In English, there are, I think, two ways to say this. One is very casual and one is very formal. So the casual way is like, oh yeah, something came up. And the formal way is like, there was an unforeseen circumstance that needed to be attended to, or something like that. Like I needed to attend to an unforeseen event. That's kind of what gives what imprevisto is. But imprevisto is like all of that. Imprevisto is like thing that I could not see that happened and it just came up. But it's neither formal nor informal. It's just neutral. And for some reason, I just freaking love this. Ho avuto un imprevisto is just so vague in the best way possible. I don't know. There's just something great about it. I'm realizing how hard it is to describe why I think these things are great. It's kind of something you can only understand if you speak the language, and you guys might find that these don't make the list. I just love imprevisto, and every time I have to say it in English, I don't know, something came up just isn't satisfying as a sentence to me. So yeah, imprevisto, love that word. Sfogarsi, I love sfogarsi. Sfogarsi is like literally to release negative energy from oneself. Like that's what sfogarsi is. There are different kinds of ways to use that if you were to use it in English. So one is to vent. One is to, let's say you have a lot of energy and you need to like get your energy up by like doing physical exercise or something. Like you can say sfogarsi for that. I don't know, you could just, if I look on wordreference.com, because that's what I use as a dictionary, it says to vent, to unload, to pour out, but who the heck says unload and pour out? Like who says, oh, I need to unload? Like that just sounds wrong. So like, sfogarsi is just beautiful. The next word is pesante. Pesante literally means heavy, but the sense that I mean pesante in is, for example, if there's a person in your life who's very, I guess the closest thing you could say is annoying or stressful. So they always repeat the same thing. They criticize you for the same thing over and over and over again unnecessarily. Or like usually, sorry mom and dad if you're watching this, I love you very much, but I just have to use you guys as an example because you can use this word a lot for parents. So if your parents are bugging you about something like, oh, well, you should have done this. Oh, when are you doing this? Blah, blah, blah. And they keep like bugging you about stuff. That's pesante. It's like it's like they're being pesante when they do that. If someone's mom is being pesante, I could say, tua madre è pesante, quanto è pesante. So it's very useful when people are annoying and stressful and like bring stress into your life. And the thing I like about it is heavy. It's like they're putting a weight on your shoulder and making things more stressful for you. So it's even like easy to picture. And I just love the word pesante when describing people. I just like it. I love how I end every word with, I just like it. Like, what a great argument, right? Okay, the next word is invece. Invece is so useful, and there actually is no replacement word for invece in the sense that there is sometimes. So invece literally translates to instead, but the way that Italians use it is to differentiate what they're doing from what you're doing, and you can't really replace it. Like, you kind of just have to let it go. Like, Italians who want to use invece in English, they just can't do it. They just have to forget about it, basically. Sometimes you can say on the other hand instead of saying invece, but it doesn't work with every sentence. So, io voglio mangiare la pasta. I want to eat pasta. The other person can say, io invece voglio mangiare la pizza. I, on the other hand, want to have pizza. But that's, if you were to say on the other hand, that would be so formal. Like, who says that not in everyday conversation, but who says that in that context of like, I want this. Oh, well, I want this. You can't say actually, like, it just doesn't work. I instead want pizza. Like, you can't say that. I don't know. You can only use instead, like, oh, instead of doing this, let's do this. That's when instead and invece are the same. But other than that, you just can't use it. So it's really useful. And when you start speaking in Italian, you get used to using invece and you get annoyed because you can't use it in English. The next one is con calma. The closest thing I could think of to con calma is no rush. Like, oh, there's no rush, take your time. I guess it's take your time, but there's something about the way I feel when somebody says fai con calma, like do it calmly. Like the things that you do, just relax, take a deep breath, do them with calm. Let calmness wash over you. Like, that's how it makes me feel. When someone says no rush, because they're using the word rush, it's like calm is the positive word and rush is the negative word. So when they say the negative word, you kind of subconsciously like still feel like you need to rush, if that makes any sense. Or like, I guess take your time is closer. I mean, I guess we do have an equivalent, but this list isn't necessarily only for things that we do not have. It's just that I prefer the way that they sound in Italian, like fai con calma. And I just feel like, okay, I can be calm. Just like let the calmness wash over me. The next one is brutta figura. This came to my attention when one of my friends, Elisa, you probably have seen her on my channel because we did a video together. I will link her channel, if I remember to, right here. Anyway, she was making a video on, she does a bunch of culture stuff. So she's making a video on how not to, I guess, make a fool of yourself in Italy, okay? But the way to say it in Italian is brutta figura. So brutta figura is like, if it's a first impression, like a bad first impression, it's like that, but it's not a first impression. It's just an impression in general, but saying you made a bad impression doesn't really make sense. You embarrassed yourself or you made a fool of yourself. You made yourself look stupid in that moment. But all that is encompassed in brutta figura. So brutta literally means ugly or bad, whatever, but basically bad impression, except bad impression doesn't make sense in English. So you made yourself look really bad in front of all those people. It's kind of like that. And it's quite useful because you kind of have to think about it if you want to say it in English and try to find the closest thing to it. Okay, the next one is voi. And voi as in vous in French, as in you people. So the second person plural, okay? That entire part of every like conjugation thing is, I mean, it's annoying for us to learn because we're not used to using it really in English, but it's useful when you need to make that differentiation. So really what happened in English, from what I understand, is that it's not that we don't have the second person plural. We actually don't have the second person singular. So you is actually the plural one. It's just that the singular you fell out of use and then you replaced it. And now we use you for both. And so it's kind of confusing sometimes when you want to specifically say you people or you without like pointing to someone or something. So it's like the equivalent of hey guys or how are you all doing or y'all, okay? I don't say y'all because y'all is, as you probably know, more of a Southern United States thing, but that's why people say y'all, all y'alls and stuff like that, because we don't have the freaking voi, and voi can be very useful sometimes when you're speaking to a group of people. So I like voi. The next word I really like is così. And the reason I like così is because it means so many things. And I kind of just like the way it sounds, but it's pretty useful. So according to word reference, così means
so, thus, in this manner, in this way, like this, so much so that, therefore and hence. Such and although.
so yeah, così is a wonderful word. You're asking someone to do something and they're saying, oh, is this enough? And I'm like, va bene così. Like, it's okay like that. In that manner, it is okay. It is okay the way that you have done it. Così, in this way, in this manner. So I really like it in that way, because in English you would kind of just say that's fine, but I just like the word così. I know I keep saying this for every word, but that's why it's on this list. So, I have the right to say it. Also, if you want to say like, how are you? So. Come stai? Così così. So we do have the equivalent of così. Actually, I'm going to be undecided if in this video I should call it Italian words that we need in English or Italian words that I love, but whatever. It's both of those things, okay? Don't freak out. The next thing is the use of che with a noun. For example, che sonno. Sonno is like sleepiness, I guess. It's like when you're really tired, instead of saying I'm tired, you can be like, oh, what sleepiness, such sleepiness. It's like something like that. But you can't say that in English because it doesn't really make sense. But you can use this in a lot of ways. And the thing is, you can't, sometimes these are translatable into English, but not always. So for example, che carino. Che carino is like how cute. So sometimes you can use how to replace it, but it doesn't work with everything. So how cute, che carino, che imbecille, what an imbecile, okay? You could say that, what an idiot, stuff like that, but not always. You can't say like, oh, what such sadness, what sadness? Like, who says that? You could say che tristezza in Italian to say like, oh, it's like it's a sad situation, like that's sad. I guess you could say that's sad. It's not exactly the same. Or like, che stanchezza. What tiredness? It's like you can't say that's tired. You could say I'm tired or I'm sleepy, but you can't say, but then in Italian you could say sono stanca or ho sonno. There are two ways to say it too, but you can also say che sonno, che stanchezza, che fame. Che fame, fame is hunger. What hunger? Like, I don't know. It's just a very expressive way to kind of say what emotions you're going through, I guess. So I like it. It's pretty useful. And again, those can't be translated in every situation. So I do like that in Italian, it's a bit more flexible, I guess. Okay, now I'm going to go through the ones that you guys sent me on Instagram, and I'm going to tell you whether or not I believe I like it enough for it to go on my personal list. So the first one, well, actually there were 10 bo's, so I'm going to skip all the ones that say bo. My friend Davide from Podcast Italiano, which you should subscribe to him because if you're learning Italian, he makes very useful content for people who are learning Italian. Anyway, he said tanto, as in tanto non vengo. I do like the word tanto. Tanto literally means a lot. You can use it almost anyway. So it's like, well, whatever, I'm not coming anyway. Tanto non vengo. So I feel like it can basically be replaced by anyway, although I don't overly prefer it to anyway. So I don't know if that is a word that really belongs on the list, although it's a good word. So 2 people sent me the word abbiocco, which I actually have never heard before, or if I have, I don't remember it. I asked my boyfriend, and from what I understand, it basically is like sonno, but it's even more exaggerated. So it's instead of saying tired, you say exhausted. It's something like that. You could say che abbiocco, is what he told me. Yeah, I mean, that kind of goes back to my che whatever argument that I made about me liking that, because you can use it with so many words. So I think it kind of falls under that category, but I don't think it's something that you can't live without. And the reason is because I've never heard it before. So if I've never heard it before, it means that it's not so useful that you can't live without it. You know what I mean? Another person said magari. Now, magari is a cool word. It means maybe or perhaps, but sometimes you can use it maybe you'll get rich one day, and you could say magari. It's if only, I wish, if only. But I feel if only kind of does the job. So I don't know. It is a good word, but it's not my absolute favorite. I don't really use it that much, to be honest. Someone said scarpetta, which we don't need in English because we don't really do it that much in North America from what I know. Scarpetta is when you take bread. Let's say you're having pasta and there's the sauce in the bottom. You take bread and you kind of scoop up the rest of the sauce so that you're not wasting it. You're enjoying its full beauty. But we don't really do that in North America, so I don't think we need a word in English that much. Furbo or furba. So furbo or furba means sneaky, cheeky, clever. It's you're clever, for example, kids are very furbi because you know, they try to treat, you know, kids, like how they test the limits and they try to trick you and they try to find a way to, you know, you tell them to do something and like, oh, well, you didn't say this word and you didn't say how to do it right this second. And they try to like get around things. That's being furbo. It's being sneaky and cheeky and clever. We can just say, as I said, clever, sneaky, cheeky. But I do use the word furbo quite often and I do like that word. So even though we can replace it in English, I do have to say I love that word. It's a good word. Okay, someone says, fare la differenza tra amico, maschio, e amica, femmina. So it means, in Italian, you have feminine and masculine nouns, okay? So amico, which is the word for friend, you could say amico for a boy and amica for a girl. And I didn't think of this. Yeah, this is so useful sometimes when you want to refer to a friend, but like sometimes knowing if that friend is male or female kind of gives you more information about the interaction. Buon appetito. Buon appetito is very useful and we don't have a word for that. The closest thing you could say is enjoy. So buon appetito is what you say before you eat a meal. So before you eat a meal, you say enjoy to everyone, but you say buon appetito. If you're French, you say bon appetit. And in English, we use that sometimes, but we don't have our own word for it. And I guess it's partially because the Italians like enjoy food so much. It's like you have a word to wish everyone a wonderful meal, basically. So pretty useful. I like buon appetito. Someone said allora, but I feel like allora can be easily replaced by so I don't find it that amazing. And to be honest, I don't use it that much. Someone says ti piacerebbe. If someone asks you out and you're like, ti piacerebbe, or someone asks you for your number, ti piacerebbe, it's like, you wish, you know what I mean? Although you wish is kind of sounds cheesy in 2019, like it sounded less cheesy like 10 or 15 years ago. But ti piacerebbe could be replaced by you wish, or like, oh yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? So I don't know. I feel like it can be replaced in English. I feel like we have the same thing. Another person said magari. Another person said così, which is already in my list because it's so dang versatile, and it is so dang versatile. Thank you for understanding my love for the word così. It's amazing. The last one is che c'entra. It's even better in Napoletano, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I don't feel like this is superior to the English version, which is like, I mean, the English version is longer. So it is faster to say the Italian version, but it's basically like, what does that have to do with anything? And I don't know. I kind of prefer, I don't know if it's just because English is my first language, but I prefer, what does that have to do with anything? It makes it sound like what you're saying is even more stupid. So it kind of is just like, it wins on being faster, but what does it have to do with anything? I just like it better. I don't know. You guys can tell me what you think. So those are all the words. What I want to know now is, what are your favorite words? How would you rank the words that I gave? And what are some words that you can add to the list that you just love in Italian that you feel like we need in English? Or sometimes you get stuck being like, how do I say this in English? Even if English is your first language, because when you get used to speaking in a different language, you can kind of forget words or like not really know how to phrase something because you're used to phrasing it in a different way in your second language or third language or whatever. So yes, please leave me comments down below. I'm very active in the comments, and then my favorite part is responding to them and having a little chat going on. So if you want to leave a comment, I welcome you to do so. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Those things both really help my videos to actually be seen. It helps me out very, very much. So I hope you will do so. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.